from Milwaukee, it's Movie Chatter.
There we go. We saw the Batman, didn't we?
We did. Let everybody see your T-shirt there. Get up on there. Huh?
I think that's a Batman 89
Nice.
emblem there.
Bill's just dressed in black. That's appropriate.
It's appropriate.
Got a
black hat. We all have our
Movie Chatter hats on.
Movie Chatter.
Oh, Dave
we got the $14 bucket.
Right.
extra $6.
That came. We can see
Over
that on
regular.
YouTube. See it on YouTube. In Wisconsin, you could get that. And
It's nice. You could also use it for. It kind of looks like a small garbage can too.
or you could use it for a planter.
Yes.
Anything you want to keep cold.
Put a small cedar tree in there.
Anything you want to put in there.
So
Nice. Yeah.
Ooh, I love this music.
Oh yeah.
That was another great thing.
So
about
you
this.
guys saw it on day of, yeah?
We did.
Yeah, and you
yes.
saw
Thursday.
the midnight shift.
I went a late one on Friday.
And you didn't fall asleep?
You're crazy.
Right. I felt like, yeah, it was fun. Actually, you know what? Talking about movie experiences, I really like going to the movies. I don't know when the
By
last time
yourself.
by yourself.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was so great.
I prefer
was like,
going by myself.
you don't have to worry about who you're with, and if they're having fun, you can get a real judgment of the rest of the crowd.
And if you wanted to move, you actually could.
Oh, yeah.
In World
I
War
suppose you
Z,
could.
I did that. Like,
Oh, wow.
Like halfway through, I said, I'm going to the front row.
Fuck yeah.
And I did.
Yeah, exactly. So very cool to do that. And yep, it's a fucking long movie though. Holy shit.
Yeah, but I never felt like it was long. I mean, there was never a time. I think it was just right.
Yeah.
Now, I
You guys-
suppose
and
if
you
I
guys
was
saw it at
renting it,
5.
I'd watch it probably in 3. I'd break it down into 3 different days. That's what I
Right.
do a lot of times with long movies. I only have time for an hour, so I turn it into an episode.
Yeah.
Right.
series.
It's like 3 episodes of your latest.
Yeah.
Of Ozark.
There you go.
So
And-
was this one of your anticipated movies? I mean, where's my phone?
Absolutely.
But I mean, look at my phone here.
Absolutely. Oh, nice.
I've had the Batman
Get
emblem.
that right up in there, huh?
I've had the Batman emblem on my phone for.
Oh, it went dark.
Oh, it went
But
dark.
I see it.
For
Good.
you
good
know,
man.
a couple months now. So
Wow, a couple months. I like to do that with the background wallpaper. I haven't been doing it lately, but that's a good indication that you were jazzed about it. What about you?
I've seen the trailer so many times that when I didn't see a particular action scene in the movie, I go, "Hey, where's that scene?" You know, it wasn't until so I have the trailer embedded in my mind. I've watched it so many times.
this
so yeah,
this
yeah.
movie, I 100% only watched the trailer maybe one time.
I did not see it many times
Yeah,
either.
I was like, I do not. Every time it would be a TV clip, I would close my
Smart.
eyes. I would shut it off. I'm like,
Smart.
I don't
I've been
wanna
doing
see
that
it.
more. I've been definitely doing that
Yeah,
more.
see it once and move on.
Right.
Yeah, but I also very anticipated. I mean, as a movie chatter podcast history, we've been watching Robert Pattinson in a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah.
And he's really good, and so I think for that reason
That's
we
right.
thought it was going to be.
What was it?
Something
HBO
different.
movie? He was the preacher.
Tenet.
No, he was. No, he was.
Tenet. No, that was.
Tenet.
I don't know. I'll have that for
Yeah,
you in a
you
minute.
know, I'm talking
He was
about
a preacher in that one.
The Lighthouse. He was in.
The Lighthouse.
That was great. He was in Tenet. Obviously, everybody knows him from
Something.
Twilight.
There was one called like High Times or something like that. I think
He's really been trying to shed that cutesy Twilight, girls love him thing, and he's kind of grown into a more mature-looking guy.
And I didn't have.
He is. Yeah, he's way past that now.
I didn't have to.
The Devil all the time.
The devil all the time. Yeah, I didn't have to.
Good show.
I don't associate him with anything. So he just go. I don't have him in a box. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I think he's been great. He was really good, and remember him in The King with Timothy Chalamet.
Fantastic.
He played I don't know, some sort of royalty. It's like very quirky character.
Perfect.
Great in there. So
yeah, doing a lot of artsy stuff.
yeah, and
Lighthouse, like you said.
you know, he is the Batman.
The Batman. So we'll do a now.
I think he was born to play this part.
Right.
And this
In
broody, gritty, dark one.
Ooh, I love that word, Bill. Broody.
Broody. Now we're gonna say that we are gonna have
perfect
This
word.
is gonna be 100% no spoilers.
Yeah.
So no spoiler. We're probably not gonna give you very much detail at all.
Right.
Gonna be just about feelings.
But
But we're gonna do a full spoiler episode.
right. So if you want the spoilers, just stop listening to this one right now and go to the spoiler episode.
Right, and they're both available at the same time, Sunday night.
Yeah.
Whatever the date is today.
right.
And we'll have YouTubes of these.
March 7th it should be available.
Monday maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm eating some of this popcorn actually from the movie.
Wow.
I saved it in a Ziploc bag. This is Batman popcorn.
You could actually just like freeze dry that and probably sell it.
Yeah, I got comfortable in our, heated seats, our leather seats that fold back at the theater we went to.
And I complain about the theater constantly. I have absolutely
Yes, you
I
do.
got some good stories here. So, right.
I never
said,
had to adjust my seat. I was just like so focused on the movie. It captured me.
We had the best auditorium of them all. Gigantic screen. Razor sharp focus, which is very rare.
Yeah.
I mean, it was rare. Were you in a great theater?
I was in a really good theater. Everything seemed like very focused and the sound was good.
Here you go, popcorn boy. Put a little sip of.
We were in number 3. I don't know.
We were in number 2.
Oh, number 2.
Number
Okay.
2. That's
I definitely was not in that.
Okay.
I was on the right side, like number 5 or something like that.
Okay.
So it probably wasn't the greatest one, but I thought it. I mean, I had getting tickets for that. I mean, at 10 o'clock on Friday, still nearly sold out. There was like only like singles left when I bought the tickets.
Okay.
But there were singles left in our favorite row, so I was in our favorite row.
That's another
Right up-
good thing about being single.
Right.
When you go out, you can just fit in those little
Bam, it's
spots
like-
that nobody else can.
Boom.
That's what I was going to do originally. Just get a ticket. I figured it was going to be 100% sold out, which it wasn't.
But it was. I haven't seen. Have anybody seen Blockbuster? I mean,
Big numbers. Box
numbers.
office. Like 120.
120.
Yeah.
Thank
Starting
God.
to get up there.
Thank goodness.
People are coming out of that COVID
Fuck
fog.
yeah, they are. Thank God. That's
Slowly
great.
but surely.
Even Dave, who said literally, if we could go reverse this back,
I will never do it again.
I will never go to the theater again. When you were building your downstairs,
Right.
You
Well, I
said
mean-
like maybe once a year.
I'm glad that you have sort of naturally adapted away from that. A little
Yeah,
bit.
I mean, it's fun to go.
for good movies, right?
Right, for good movies. But, there's no actual really... If you know Batman at all, there's no real spoilers in this movie. It's just
Right.
the version of the Batman you're going to get.
Right.
That's it. I mean,
Right.
what
Obviously,
can I tell you that's a spoiler? Nothing.
It is. It's a very interesting thing that we're watching here because how many have there been?
Lots.
A lot, and that's a very good point. You know the story.
Yeah.
My point on it is that it's a great take on Gotham. It's a great take on Bruce Wayne, and
completely different than the last thing you saw, like
Yes.
the Dark Knight Rises, or the Dark Knight,
right
which I immediately, as soon as I got home,
yes,
immediately went downstairs and watched in my theater the Dark Knight,
yeah,
and I was shocked by
the difference.
the difference
Yeah.
of movies when
Right.
you're watching them within a half hour
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah, Christopher.
One
Nolan.
I imagine would be just the darkness. I mean, it literally was a dark movie and visually dark. It was always raining and cloudy.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Where the
Just,
the Dark Knight is
Right.
crystal clear focus.
Right.
Not that this movie isn't in focus, but there's always not so much to focus on. Where, I noticed the Batmobile driving away in the Dark Knight. I mean, you could see the ground very clearly. I'm just like,
yes.
everything was razor sharp.
Completely different, right? That's why. I mean, this is extremely different. We have never. I mean, of all the iterations of Batman, this is the darkest, the most gritty. It's a Gotham in decay. It's a Batman who is
if you thought
practically in therapy.
If you thought the Joker was dark, this movie's
right.
Way darker.
Right, but it's similar to that. And
there was
feel
one
is so
scene
different.
where I thought, what is this, Saw?
Really?
Okay, we won't talk about that one, but
that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying on that. It's very, very different. Certainly, I mean, if you compare this to a Marvel movie, it's like, what?
This is no Disney Marvel movie.
Yeah, so I'm excited that it didn't shy people away. We'll see how it does in the second week.
Yeah.
Remember, Dave, you were saying like DC has got their groove back.
Oh,
I think so.
With somewhere where Marvel can't go. Marvel,
Yeah.
because of the Disney thing, they
like-
don't want to do. I mean,
right. They're embracing it.
they don't do it as much.
They're embracing their dark side.
This was PG-13, right?
I believe so.
But I mean, you could have easily turned this into R.
Right. It was close.
They
right?
went right up to the S.
You could have easily
Edge.
turned this into full horror movie, right? I mean, it wouldn't take much to get a horror director.
Well, I'm thinking,
Right.
Every time one comes out, they just go a little bit further. So, what in the next one? Will it be a Saw?
Yeah.
Will it be a 7?
Right. Now, what would they have done? Like imagine this movie as R. You would have extended some scenes. You would have possibly shown more torture. I think I like it in PG-13 though.
I think you would have,
because
you wouldn't if you would have
Maybe Catwoman and Batman get it on.
oh well,
No.
I would have appreciated that, but it might have been gratuitous. Just like that Saw stuff you didn't need. Whereas here they still are using that old style of you have all of the violence, but it's done off screen. Or it's done where you don't, it's done after the cut,
Right.
sort of thing.
I think you could have went to R, but you don't need to use all of the R that's available. You don't need to go to the end.
Right. You don't need to go
But
Saw.
maybe you could have had a high focus picture of blood on his glove after pummeling somebody.
Yes. That's
something
a good,
like that dripping.
That's
Or
a nice point.
Maybe
yeah.
splatter. You don't need to go.
Right, which they won't allow you to do in PG-13, right?
Right. I don't think you can splatter stuff, but
Oh, I didn't know that. No
yeah, I mean,
splatter.
as crazy as some of the villains were in here, they could have killed people in a more even brutal way.
Okay, speaking of villains, let me go through some actors' names, and you guys can just give me your just general impressions of all these people.
Okay.
Let's go. Obviously, Robert Pattinson.
Phenomenal.
Okay.
Great jaw.
Great job.
Yeah. Robert Pattinson looks the best with the mask on. I thought his mask
I love it.
is the best I've seen.
Oh, I love. Yeah, we should talk a little bit about that art direction and the way that they did do that.
Maybe that'll be in the spoiler version.
Okay.
Spoiler version.
Yeah. What about Zoe Kravitz?
Unbelievable.
Bill?
I'm in love
I
with
just take
her.
a deep breath.
Yeah, she is breathtaking. And such a good actor. I mean, everything. A.
Right.
So good.
She wasn't campy like some of the Catwomans
God.
have been in the past.
Oh, good point. Right.
Right.
There's definitely I think like almost everyone.
She kept it real.
Yeah, it's barely. Even though I did hear that she did go like all method acting and literally like live in her trailer with cats, drinking milk out of a saucer.
Okay.
It didn't seem that way. She didn't. It was very. She seemed like just a regular kind of woman in the movie.
I'll give you a little non-spoiler. I was very happy that she didn't like have some Catwoman, garb on that she would keep on all the time. It seemed like every time she was going, I need to breathe, so I'm pulling this off so you can see my face.
Yeah. Barely a mask.
This isn't a spoiler because everybody has seen, Pattinson in his outfit.
Okay.
But
Right.
this was so kind of real gritty detective feel, non-superhero kind of a movie. So the thing that threw me off was when they show him and he's got a cool, Batman outfit,
Right.
but those pointy ears, and I'm thinking, well, I bet you they had like different models, shorter ears,
Oh, right.
no
Oh, yeah,
ears at
for
all.
sure.
But to me, those big pointy ears just stood out as a little bit too
A little too much. still?
costumey.
Oh,
Okay.
no, I don't think so. If you
Okay.
if you see George Clooney or any of the other ones with gigantic ears, you'd be like, this is really toned down.
I want to see it go to a next step, the next one, where he's
Nearly.
like in a black army outfit, and it's just a black band around his head.
Okay, well, we don't want to give spoilers, Bill, but there's stuff I'd like to talk about this movie where he's out and about a lot in this movie and not in his Batman outfit and not in his Bruce Wayne outfit. So it's very similar to you. There's a lot of times he's
out being like a,
Oh, yeah.
a
he's
regular
out in a
citizen
black baseball cap.
and a hoodie.
Right,
This is
so-
the first. This is like Bruce Wayne in a hoodie and a baseball cap.
No, but he's actually doing. That's like mid. He's not Bruce Wayne. He's not Batman. He is what you want. He's just out there.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that'll
no.
be for the next show.
That's right. Okay.
What about Colin Farrell?
Unbelievable. It was so good that I read that people were saying it's possible.
as Oz
It's possible that
Penguin.
he wasn't even in the costume because
What does that mean?
that means that
He
there was if you stared at it and they gave really good focus and I looked at screenshots.
Gosh, I couldn't see him in there.
You can't not even slightly. Where everybody else that's in a costume in
Yeah.
other movies will
Right.
let you see the character of
You
the
could
actor.
you can take the mask off. Right. It was hard to see him, wasn't it?
I mean, I don't know what his eyes look like, but I mean, you couldn't even see his eyebrows or anything like that. So, I mean, he was just.
It was incredible. That should be an Academy Award winning. I mean, seriously, that's the best makeup I've ever seen.
Yeah, for makeup. In fact, when they do get Academy Awards, it's the superhero movies that make all the money.
Bill,
that-
look behind you
missed
real
it.
quick. Just look real quick.
We're looking at Christopher Nolan, The Black Knight
Now look
Rises.
at those ears on. Did you see the?
Yeah, they're still kind of.
No, they're gigantic, Bill. Look how tall those ears are.
Oh yeah. So in fact, they shortened them for this one.
Quite a bit. Quite a bit.
Okay. Well, I'd like to see them. Like,
Okay, Don is
just
whipping to the camera.
even smaller next time.
Okay, Don, you're gonna have to get a better camera here.
All right.
Okay,
so,
so-
director Reeves, he made all those ape movie,
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Cloverfield Lane, Cloverfield. He's a everything he's done.
Right.
I like. He doesn't have any duds. So
We're still talking actors. How about Jeffrey Wright as Gordon?
oh great. Just saw him in
The French Dispatch.
no, I just
Oh,
saw
yeah.
him in Mission Impossible.
Oh, that as
Oh
well.
yeah.
Love him in Westworld.
Yeah.
Love
In
him
Westworld, where
That's right.
He's great. Is it a spoiler if I say I love that he was calling Batman man a lot? Like, hey man. He was saying man
Was
all
he?
the time. Yes.
Was he?
He was saying man. Like,
They
come
had a-
on, man.
They had a very familiar relation.
Right. Where it was just like,
well, and the other thing is he plays a young Batman. I mean, even through his mask, you can see he has young lips, a young face. You know, he just has this young look to him.
That is a good point.
In the movie, he was kind of inexperienced. He was like learning to be Batman.
Yeah.
He was even dealing with his
36 years old.
emotions
well, I mean,
and so forth.
You know, Jeffrey Wright, he's not going to call, hello, Batman. You know, it was more realistic to go, you know, when they're just talking, to go, man.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know his name. He's not going to call him Batman. And,
What about Paul Dano? I'm going to keep it moving here.
okay, Paul Dano.
What has he done before? I've seen him. He always plays some kind of
Little
Quirky
Miss
stuff.
Sunshine.
There Will Be Blood, Little Miss Sunshine, 12 Years a Slave, Love and Mercy.
There Will Be Blood is the best he's done.
Guilty. I thought he played
War
a
and Peace.
killer in another movie.
Swiss Army Man. He played that weird character in that.
Keep going. Prisoners, maybe? Yes. In Prisoners, he was like a baby abductor, a kid abductor.
Right.
Oh,
So he's played the weird
okay.
bad guys before.
Okay. I think he did a great job.
Great job.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
Great job. An R-rated, or they could have took his character a little farther. We'll talk about it later in the next episode.
Yeah, no,
John-
he made his own.
Turturro.
Okay, so
Turturro.
let me tell you, while I'm watching this movie, halfway through the movie, we haven't seen John Turturro yet, I believe, through halfway. And I'm going, this movie, I'm going to give it away right now, is nearly perfect. This is like, to me, in my view, a perfect movie at the halfway point. He is a character that I didn't love in the Transformer movies. You know, he's really
I knew that was
odd.
the one that you said was like maybe not a great fit, or you had question if he would be able to live up to the part.
He's got like a
actually-
humorous tone to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't like it, but
Exactly.
they threw on some like really cool shaded glasses, which made him extra creepy, where they're like almost Tony Stark, where they're sunglasses, but you can wear them all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
sure.
you could, like they're tinted, and I guess he pulled it off. I'm gonna say
And it was good writing too. I mean, I believed whatever he was saying. It seemed true.
my only distraction is
He
once
plays
I,
a mob boss.
once I saw him, I was waiting for him to fuck up in my mind. Like,
Okay.
don't you do anything? You have to really play a mob boss, and fantastic.
Last one.
Okay.
This is he's a rare breed. He's
Okay.
able to go from the Marvel world into the DC
Oh,
world.
God, yeah.
Andy Serkis
Phenomenal. As
as
Alfred?
Alfred. That's always a thing with. I mean, that's another character that is always repeating
I think
in
about
these
him
movies.
I think about him in King Kong when he was trying to shoot the mosquitoes with his machine gun. And they're like, "Save the bullets!" Brrr, and he's shooting bullets, shooting mosquitoes with bullets.
He's
was
excellent
good.
in
He was
everything.
great.
Yeah, he did well. He didn't have to do a ton, but
Yeah,
There
I
you
mean,
go.
You know that we'll
Great
talk about
act- so
that
great
more.
acting.
We'll talk about that in the next episode.
All right.
That
So
else
we
out
got
there?
we.
what
you
else
know,
are we going to talk about?
The music was great. The sound was great.
Oh.
Of course, we're in an Atmos sound system theater, which giant speakers all over us.
let's just give.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this up. If you want to hear an in-depth talk, come to the next episode. This is episode 221. 222 should be all Batman, full
Spoilers.
spoilers. We're gonna tell you the ending within the first 3 seconds of the show. So
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about some of the other things.
we're gonna give a
how about a review?
a rating?
a rating. He said
Okay.
a rating.
Thumbs up. I'm gonna say this is a highly recommend. To me, this
Yeah.
was.
Pretty easy.
Should we talk about ranking these or no? Not even.
We'll leave that for the full spoiler.
Okay, well, definitely, this is the best movie I've seen.
We can come back to it.
This is the best movie I've seen this year.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. It's the standard bearer of 2022 so far.
Right, this is it.
When I was watching this movie, about halfway in, my eyes got tearful because I knew I was watching one of the best movies I have seen in my life.
Bill is getting
I mean,
verklempt.
it's like when I
Yeah.
saw Matrix or something,
Yes.
and yet because I have not seen a great movie. It's the older I get, it's harder to top them, right? And so
right, yeah.
this one was new. It was fresh. It was
Yeah. You're like, thank you.
I loved it. Now, I don't know if I loved it better than The Dark Knight Rises. That was a different kind of movie.
Right, we'll talk about
But
it.
I loved seeing this. So I would rate it weekend, Saturday, Friday night, go to the movies. You'll enjoy it.
You'll get
Full
laid
recommend.
after this one.
Maybe full recommend. Yeah, I don't know, but
How about you? Full recommend for Don over there.
full recommend. Yep,
Don did
yep.
not. Don
Easy
falls
peasy.
asleep normally even through a Jurassic Park movie, so he
And this was 10
it's-
o'clock, 10 p.m. showing. It was done at 1:08, and I literally did not close my eyes at all.
There you go. That's 25 minutes on the Batman.
Boom.
3 guys we recommend it, but you knew that already. What's the next thing we're going to talk about, Bill?
All right, so we're going to start talking about things we've been watching besides the Batman.
More reviews. We're going to, this is,
And,
this is the month of just
right.
reviews, thumbs up,
So that
thumbs
was our
down.
number one. And by the way, only in the theaters, maybe in a couple months, it'll be on HBO because HBO carries Warner.
Right. I'm thinking 45 days it's going to be on
That'd be
HBO Max.
gosh, that would be so cool. Oh, I would
All
love
right,
to
the
see
next
this again.
is
But I want to
at
buy
home.
it. I want to buy
Dave,
it.
you've seen Fresh on Hulu. What's that all about?
Okay, that is Fresh is a horror comedy. Brand new on Hulu.
Horror comedy thriller.
And I absolutely
Just came out this week.
So I went to go see some like indoor motorcycle racing. Okay, this weekend.
Did you really?
I did at the
I heard about
at
that.
the Pfizer Forum,
With Jay.
and
Did you go doing stuff?
and so we got our times mixed up, and I ended up being at a park and ride
okay.
in my pickup truck for about an hour and a half,
Oh my gosh.
waiting for him. And
You watched this on your phone, waiting in a parking lot.
But my F-150, the sound
great
system.
sound, sure. So that helps.
Yeah, so I watched.
You didn't need this. I mean,
I watched the ending at home.
you didn't need to see. It's not like Batman or Jurassic Park.
No.
So, what did you think?
Very interesting. I would call this. I got to look for my notes here. I'm a
Yeah.
little.
I watched it as well. I have seen it.
Yeah, I was shocked that you actually said, "Hey, why don't you check out?"
Well, it's Sebastian Sam. I've been watching him in Pam and Tommy, and I was like, I got to get that image of his wiener out of my head. So let me see him, cut up some people.
I've seen the trailer. She's dating somebody. I mean,
Right.
she's going through the dating scene, meeting different people
Right.
at dinner, and then she meets this guy in the grocery store.
She
and he's
does,
all
yeah.
so charming, and
He is.
And did you
Yeah.
realize that in the grocery store, there's big signs that says fresh produce? And I thought they were trying to trick you. Like, that's what this movie is about. Because
Oh,
I
okay.
knew nothing.
Oh,
I went in this like
I knew.
I knew absolutely nothing.
After I read the IMDb
I thought it was a vegan movie.
description here, it gives you a hint.
okay, go.
The horrors of modern dating scene through one young woman's defiant battle to survive her new boyfriend's unusual appetites.
Oh my God.
So appetites and fresh.
Okay,
How much
It's
do you
a
want to?
horror
he's gonna
movie.
eat her.
I mean,
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean, we can spoil it a little bit. It's not that difficult.
we don't need to spoil the ending.
No, not
Obviously,
at all.
Let's.
It's that's what people are saying. It was a dating app kind of thing, like, oh, she's trying to find a date or whatever, and yes, she even mentions that I didn't even know people still did that, met people in real life, so it was funny that way.
Hilarious.
And I don't know that actress very much, Daisy Edgar Jones, who plays Noah in here. She's the lead, but she was really good.
What's she been in?
She's been in War of the Worlds. Maybe she was the daughter. I don't know.
Oh no, War of the Worlds. That's a series.
Of the series, Normal People, Pond Life, Cold Feet.
She has a look. I thought she was
Not
almost
a-
like Zoe Zezin, the
Deschanel,
yes,
the new
Zoe
girl.
Yeah,
She has that look.
yeah, a little bit. Right. She's
Like the girl next door.
Yeah, super cute brunette, and modern woman.
Okay,
she's
Bill,
got a
so-
friend like played Molly by JoJo Gibbs.
Let's.
So it's this comedy. Did it make you laugh?
No.
It did.
Oh, did it make you laugh?
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, I think they played up on it. There were points in here where not to spoil it, but there's some points where it gets to be kind of the horror portion of it where they're playing off of that. It's a dark comedy.
I mean,
it's
let's,
a dark
okay.
comedy.
Dark
we
comedy.
should set it up. There's quite a bit once you know what's going on after that. So
Right.
I mean,
It's 30 minutes into the movie before anything horrific. It's a rom-com practically for the first three. It's a dating movie for the first 30 minutes.
can we tell Bill a little bit more about it? About his house where he lives? Should we go that far?
Throw me a bone.
Sure.
Throw me a bone. Okay, Bill. So he takes she kind of is falling for this guy, and they immediately want to go out for a weekend. He takes her to his house out in the country, supposedly. Big billionaire
Yeah,
type
sure.
house. I mean, did you
Big.
see the staircases with rock?
Oh my gosh.
It's a billionaire house.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. I'm sure we could look into it and find out that.
The house was actually
Right.
more
That
probably
they-
than he could afford.
Right, exactly. It's one of those. It's like It's like that Deus Ex Machina movie or whatever that one
Right.
was.
If a billionaire was like a horror movie.
Oh, that's 5 minutes. Got to wrap it up.
Okay. So basically, Bill, he takes these people, this girl, and he makes her a drink. He drugs her. She wakes up. She's in chains.
Right.
Okay. And
there you go. And then
should we go? I think we should go a little farther.
should we spoil the entire thing?
No, I mean,
okay. If you don't want to know the ending of this movie, fast forward a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to say it's a recommend. So just stop for a second. We'll only talk for 30 seconds, okay? Bill, here we go. Spoilers coming right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He has several girls chained up in different rooms in his house. His big deal is how he's making all his money. He's cutting them up and keeping them alive and selling their meat.
He's a plastic surgeon that somehow can cut your leg
Look
off.
at Bill's face on
sell
YouTube.
God.
And keep you alive.
So the girl he takes there immediately, he cuts her butt off.
Oh, they don't. But you never.
Which
it's
is
not.
funny.
It's not actually very gory, right?
No,
I mean they don't.
It's a very gory movie. The last 5 minutes.
Right, but but the whole
He's a surgeon.
It's actually that was a comedy portion where he's got like a thigh and he's dancing around in the kitchen like it's a guitar with some. I mean, having and it's actually somewhat funny.
Right, he's packaging the meat, putting it in boxes like Amazon,
selling it to billionaires.
So how much does fresh butt go per pound?
I don't know, but
Apparently a lot
Because right now I pay a lot for salmon. You see the prices of salmon?
Yeah. They say it's indescribable in the movie.
Okay, Hulu.
I recommend it.
Fresh.
All right.
If you like,
I call it a training horror movie. If you want a horror movie where maybe the gruesome parts at the end are pretty gruesome, but by that point, I think you're going to just withstand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad.
All right.
There you
So you recommend them. Okay.
Recommend.
All right.
Next show, Bill.
Next one, I'm up with The Protege.
No idea.
It's on Prime.
Talk me into it.
It's a spy thriller. So our sister Paulette, I'm always looking for something like that. The director of Casino Royale has made this one. So it's high production value, great sound.
Martin Campbell.
You've got a beautiful Asian American actress, Maggie Q, who is the star.
Love
She's
Maggie
the Anna, so to speak. Literally, the movie Anna. Well, in this movie, she's Anna. Kind of a rescued as a child by a legendary assassin, Moody, who's played by Michael J. Jackson. Okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Samuel J. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. And then Anna.
Can look right
She
here.
is like the most skilled contract killer because he trained her as she was like an orphan in Vietnam, and he took her on and taught her the skills.
Okay.
Let me give you a description, and then
Yeah.
you can just give us your impressions. Oh, and then so rescued as a child, the legendary assassin Moody. Anna is the world's most skilled contract killer. However, when Moody is brutally killed, Moody's Samuel L. Jackson, she vows revenge for the man who taught her everything she knows.
Let me jump in here because I have nothing to say about it, but I'm not big on every show is now about she's the best contract killer, he's the best contract killer.
Well, you just nailed what is the negative about this, because that is cliche.
Because we all know John Wick is the number one contact.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
it.
And if you say, why would you not give this high marks? It'd be the cliche plot.
Okay.
On the other hand,
It looks a little cliche in the trailers.
but positives, great cinematography. You'll see that in the preview if you watch it. Great sound, great hand-to-hand combat. Just like in Casino Royale, you're going to have kind of a James Bond feel.
Does the hand-to-hand combat look like, or does it look,
more like in Nobody.
I mean, is it choreographed? Like, Nobody was choreographed. I don't like choreographed fighting.
I would say it's more choreographed.
Okay. All right.
Michael Keaton plays Rembrandt. He's a bad guy.
Okay.
And through the whole movie, there's like this sexual tension between her and him. In fact, there'll be a little bit more than just sexual tension in this one.
Okay.
Yep. And
this is PG-13, right?
well, I don't know about that because there's a point at which they're having dinner together. They both have guns pointed underneath, and she's going,
Ooh.
God,
I'm going to blow your thing off.
You're holding a gun to my pussy, and you're asking me to go to bed with you? So that's some of the language that's in there.
Okay, so it's a little spicy.
All right.
A little spicy. I like that.
Could be. So they had great rapport back and forth with them.
So Michael Keaton, good acting.
Yeah.
What would you say about the big three, Michael Keaton and Maggie Q and Samuel L. Jackson? Good acting?
I think Michael Keaton did a great job.
Look at that. The studio that brought you John Wick. Okay.
We're looking at the trailer.
Yeah.
Very slick.
It does look very sharp.
And so with the production value of a Casino Royale, and yet the clichéness, I would have to rate this a Wednesday.
Is this a movie?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So it's a movie.
Great. I thought it was a series.
No. It's done in an hour and 30, 40 minutes.
Right. It's a female John Wick.
Yeah. Think Anna mixed with maybe American Assassin, which, by the way, Michael Keaton in that one.
Is he really?
He was in American Assassin, and he's like training a younger guy.
Okay.
Excellent.
Anyway, I would say it's good. Mm-hmm. It's not that good, but I had a lot of fun watching it, and I would maybe even watch it again. So I'll rate that a middle of the week Wednesday.
Is it a that doesn't go with how we
B
do
minus?
It. That's not how we do it either.
7.
Recommend or not recommend?
I recommend.
There you go.
Bill,
it's
I like
thumbs
it.
up. Thumbs
torture,
up.
Torture getting this.
Oh no, I love Bill's.
Educated
I love
guy.
I love the days of the week. I know exactly when Bill says Wednesday. To me, I love that because it's like, okay, that means it's not Monday.
I pretty much
he didn't say Monday doing laundry.
If Bill doesn't say Saturday night, I'm not watching it.
No, I know exactly what he's talking about on this. To me, this movie is like something that it's not going to be super awesome, but it's going to probably be some good entertainment.
Now,
sort of like
great sound.
Okay, now wait.
Great sound.
How would you rank it above or below Red Notice? Big new movie with The Rock. And
Right. I would compare it to Red Notice, and since I like the characters in Red Notice a little bit more, I would say Red Notice would be a Thursday in my mind.
Okay.
Where this is just a Wednesday.
So a notch below that.
Let's say you're going to
but still a recommend.
Watch a movie at your house, and you're possibly going to press play on this to watch it again, but I happen to leave. Oh, there we go. The end. I happen to leave John Wick 1, 2, and 3 on 4K Blu-ray on your table.
Which would you?
Are you going to grab one of those before you'd watch this again?
I'd watch this first because I like to watch new stuff.
Okay,
there you go, and you get to see Maggie Q.
It's a recommend. Love it.
She's quite beautiful in this.
She is. She's in.
So that's on Prime, and it's just a movie.
Okay, there you go. What's next, Bill?
The next up is Vikings Valhalla on Netflix. Don, take it away.
I got something to say about that one. I watched a little bit.
Okay, well, it is an 8-episode series that just came out on Netflix.
How long are the episodes? I can't believe you had 8 hours available.
They are an hour apiece. This is
are you watching this while you're doing work?
You have to watch this. This is like. I don't want to say Game of Thrones.
It's got that look.
Or I don't know what's another, period piece with I don't know. But yes, you have to pay attention. We did pay attention. I'm not going to say that
Who did you watch it with?
I watched it with my wife.
Okay.
And we started it at the end of the week, and the first episode, it's like, okay, it's a lot of figuring stuff out, and then it does sort of transition into, once we've established all of our characters, a traditional series where you know what's going to happen. You've got some leaders, you've got some background characters, you've got a storyline, and you're marching your way through 8 hours of this
Are you
story.
interested to know why I watched 5 minutes of it and turned it off?
Yes, I am totally.
Yeah, why?
Okay, because
why did you?
Because I watched the first 5 minutes. It looked great, but it seemed like I was hoping for something that, was done like The Witch or The Lighthouse, authentic, where it seemed like these are supposed to be Vikings. It seemed like they were talking, at least to me in the first 5 minutes, like it was 90120.
Nope, not at all.
Okay, because at least the first 5 minutes when I listened to it, their dialogue and the clarity of everything seemed...
No.
I
didn't think you stayed in long enough.
To like American language?
Nope,
Yeah, too American.
I would say absolutely not.
Okay, good.
I would say that...
I want to watch it.
I would say that to me that was almost a detriment, is that I'm not like a... To me, it's difficult to listen to people talking in sort of an Icelandic or Viking-ish sort of accent, and all that kind of stuff, and they do that throughout it.
Eurovision.
Yeah, actually, one of the main guys in Eurovision is in this movie or in this show as one of the main characters.
Maybe they seemed a little, I guess they have to attract females or male. I mean,
there's one really super good-looking guy.
It seems a little clean for Vikings.
Okay, but you don't have to put on the captions in order to understand what they're saying.
No, you don't. And then I don't know. Yeah, that guy's super good-looking.
Maybe Vikings were clean.
You'd only watched it for 5 minutes, so you don't have no perspective on it.
No, I know. It was like everything seemed too clean and English speaking to me.
Okay, well, I would say that I disagree with that.
Okay.
I don't think it was too clean. I think they're extremely dirty, and we often mentioned that throughout the show as they were trying to pull arrows out of each other, and we were like, oh, they just don't have soap yet. It's probably gonna get infected. I think that's gonna get infected. And
it looks good.
Brutal.
Watching the trailer here.
I love that Vikings have this like small axe. The weapon of choice in this is like a small-headed axe that everybody uses. It's that axe with a sort of the bottom of it comes down and then it wraps
kind of
up.
hooks a little bit.
Yeah, it's like a hook type thing. That's all they use there.
He's got machine.
Yeah, I mean, so very brutal, and it definitely has
on Netflix.
And you watched it.
Yeah,
the whole way through. Did you complete it or
completed it? Yep, 8
wow.
episodes.
That says something. That you did that in a week.
Well, I want to know.
With Ann,
besides
in a weekend.
Besides,
we watched it in a weekend.
Oh, really?
Besides recommend or not recommend, I also want like a 1 to 10 out of it too.
I would say that I was surprised that it was as good as it is. If you like period pieces and as you watch 8 hours of something, you got your phone, you're probably going to Google it. You're like, is Olaf a real character? Yes, he is.
Oh.
Yes. The English, apparently the storyline is that way back, takes place at about 900 to about 1008 BC.
One of my favorite times.
Okay, 1,000 years ago. For some reason, a lot of Vikings went to England and actually lived there. And eventually they said, we don't want you here anymore. And they exterminated all of them.
Wow.
So then the rest of the Vikings, who were all back in Iceland and Denmark and so on and so forth, said, that's fucking shitty. We're going to get in our little shitty boats, come all the way over to England and fucking get your head.
All right.
So that's the whole thing is about that good-looking dude. That's Leif Erikson, real character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So this guy right here is a prince, and he wants to go to England and get the head of the king. That's the only reason. And then things change from there. Eventually, you'll find out that there is actually a Viking king of England in 1070. There's a one that like shared power with the actual king through this. So this is somewhat, historical and all that.
Is it giving you excitement for that new Viking movie coming up?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see that.
Yeah.
Nicole
So
Kidman.
I think that
Skarsgård.
looks even better, like
Right.
way better. Yeah. I mean, I know what you're saying, Dave. This is in itself eventually a series.
They're trying to make it more accessible.
It's more accessible. Yes, there is a little bit of a, very minimal, but there's a little bit of a love interest between a couple of characters in there. A beautiful, 6'1" Swedish model actress who plays like a badass.
Okay.
Um,
well, we can talk about it more
yeah.
after we see that. We'll compare it to the Viking movie.
I give you a 7 on the
Okay.
what you asked for. Oop, I got to call this off. I didn't set my
5-minute
timer.
timer.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's okay.
Must be past it.
All right, so
It's
wrap
a
it.
recommend if you like period pieces.
Okay.
My reviews will be much shorter, like 30 seconds.
Okay, well, Dave, you're up with West Side Story.
West Side Story.
Was it
Okay, yeah.
on HBO, or where do you
Ooh.
see that?
Yeah, HBO Max. I think it's also on Disney Plus.
Take your
possibly.
time.
No, I'm not going to take my time. It's Steven Spielberg 2021 version of the movie that was, I think, 1969 possibly.
1957 musical is what I see here.
No, that's the year that it's supposed to be.
Mm.
Okay, but the original West Side Story, which it's a copy of.
This
A lot
is
of famous
an
songs.
adaptation of the 1957 musical.
Really?
That's what it says. But it's been done quite a bit.
Okay, I think there's a 1969 version.
Okay.
Maria.
I do like musicals. Steven
Do you?
Spielberg. It's got Ansel Elgort from Baby Driver, Rachel Zegler, Maddie Ziegler, two close spelled names. I mean, do you know this movie? Tony and Maria meet at a dance in 1957, and there's like kind of a Hispanic gang and a,
Yeah.
white boys from New York, and
That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Just to do what you said here. 1961 was the original
Okay,
movie.
yeah, that's
Must be 1957 was when it was probably in a play. A
But
musical theater.
It's actually supposed to be taking place. This movie takes place in 1957.
okay.
And it's a musical.
It's a musical, so there's.
They play all the classic songs. I'm sure they didn't rewrite the songs.
I mean, it seems like the
Right.
first half hour of the movie, 45 minutes, there's like 3 words spoken.
Oh, really?
Even not a lot of singing, but a lot of kind of moving and
Dancing and moving around. and
guys carrying paint cans and marching down the street and.
to me, it seemed like a very authentic. I mean, it seemed like they're paying a lot of homage to the original. It seemed obviously the period is all the same, and it didn't seem like they were trying to reinvent it. They were kind of more like a nod to
It's
the original.
absolutely. I want to give a quick review of this movie. It's absolutely spectacular, visually looking. Every detail. It's Steven
Ooh,
Spielberg
right.
with all the money. A remake, so he's not going to skimp on this. I would say if you're going to ever watch West Side Story, this is the version to watch. I would
Ooh.
say this is the best of all of them.
Wow,
For sure.
I'm amazed that. I mean, this seems like it's not your kind of thing. You're our horror guy. You're our Godzilla guy.
Yeah, but I'm also like a fan of Grease.
Okay.
I do like my
Dave-
musicals. I like
Dave has
Rent.
his- okay.
I like all that.
You like La La Land?
I love La La Land.
Okay. All right.
So, it's actually a musical. The actual story isn't my favorite. I would much rather watch La La Land or Grease.
Right.
This is a little too much. It's too realistic, gangs fighting and, but it's, a guy from the wrong side meets a girl from the other side and they fall in love, and
classic.
that's all it is. It's so simple of a story. There's nothing spectacular about it except for you want to, if you know the songs, you'll sing along with them.
I know all of them.
The Jets and the Sharks.
Right, Jets and the Sharks.
Grew up on this movie.
You did?
Oh yeah, I know all the songs.
Okay, well then you will love this
Are
movie.
you interested in it, Bill?
Well, I mean, it's been around and I haven't turned it on. It feels like I've seen this movie so many times just when my parents watched it.
Well, let me tell you, Bill, you've never seen it on the 85-inch TV that's in your living room. Because this movie is going to be visually spectacular.
All right, so that's on HBO, West Side Story. Sounds like you're giving that a good recommendation.
Highly recommend. If you like musicals, I would say this will be the best thing you've seen.
Highly recommend. All right.
I mean, for me, probably watch it, one time. My significant other would never. She'd rather watch Hostel than this movie.
She's not a musical gal.
She does not like musicals at all.
That's great.
So
That's great.
she'd watch Gore before this.
All right, well, maybe she'd watch the next one on our list, Contagion.
Ooh.
Contagion, phenomenal.
This is
start the timer.
it seems like I've heard this before. Is this
It-
new?
I mean, it's a little old. Okay, the only reason is I've watched it again, and it's the reason is it's been traveling from HBO Max to Hulu to Netflix.
2011, so it's
2011.
11 years old.
Let me see my
And
notes.
obviously, it's very timely, as we would say.
Well,
you
in
know?
fact, when
the
it
CDC working on
a couple
a
years
pandemic.
ago, a couple years ago, you could not get this for free. They were charging a couple bucks to rent
I'm gonna say this is.
because there were so many people demanding to watch this.
I'm gonna call this a celebrity disaster film.
Okay,
Like to me, this is almost like Towering Inferno, but done
Because
much
you
better.
have Matt Damon, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, etc. Well, those are the big
etc.
ones.
etc.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Bryan Cranston, Elliot Gould, Jude Law. Yeah, it's packed full of. Yeah, look at Gwen.
I like the
Gwyneth
first
looks sick
15
in here.
minutes. There's like a major character that
Have you seen it? Of course.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying, maybe when COVID was at full tilt and this movie was being shot on every streaming service,
Right.
maybe you didn't feel like watching it because it was too much tension.
Might have been too close to home. Too early.
Yeah.
Too soon, as they say.
maybe. And if you watch the trailers, I love the part where the doctor's telling Matt Damon, his wife died. He goes, okay, so what can we do about that?
Yeah.
No, there's nothing you can do. She's gone. Oh my gosh. What? And he just couldn't even hear that
wasn't-
she had died of. How can you possibly die of this?
And
COVID-19.
Seconds later, they're sawing her head open.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
look
how many
inside of it.
millions of people have died in the United States of it? I don't know.
Right,
Wow.
but it's a great movie. If you're into this kind of movie, you know what I mean? It's like it's just a gigantic cast. It's a disaster movie. It's way more than like COVID.
I liked Andromeda Strain or something like that. Do you remember that one? Andromeda Strain?
Andromeda.
Andromeda Strain.
Andromeda Strain.
Yeah, that had a bunch of famous actors in it too.
There's definitely been quite a few of those movies.
It's a fun one. I'm just throwing it in there. If you haven't seen it, it's brand new on Netflix.
Brand new on Netflix.
Yeah. So
Okay, because it said HBO Max on there.
I don't. It's on Netflix.
Okay, Netflix. All right.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's on Netflix right now.
All right. And so that's a recommend by Dave?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs
Highly
up.
recommend. 2011, an hour and 46 minutes. It's fun. You can watch this one while folding laundry.
Oh, beautiful.
So, it's great.
All right.
How about next, Bill?
Does it have a happy ending?
Yeah. Now this one.
Yeah, it's happy.
Well-
Everybody has lollipops at the end.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Raising Dion. It's on Netflix.
Oh,
It's a
boy.
series.
We talked a little bit about it.
It's actually 2 seasons. They just
17
came out
yeah.
with the season 2,
Sci-fi.
but I just watched season 1. Okay, season 2 takes it up another notch. There's more special effects and, but it's a sci-fi family movie. So family being the stars of the show are
Little kids.
7 years old.
quite a bit of youngsters in this.
It's not grabbing me, but I mean,
All right, so
Right. Tell me about
mystery,
it.
sure.
just tell me, what do you like about it?
Okay, well, think Firestarter, except let's say, your daughter can shoot out fire, but in this case, your son can move things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, that can be a problem if he's in school and somebody's picking on him, right? But it's not like Firestarter. It isn't. It's more kind of family friendly. It's like, oh, no transporting yourself in the house.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm watching the trailer as we're watching it. I'm gonna guess you're not gonna recommend this movie. It looks like a not
Oh,
recommend.
no, he's going to recommend it highly.
I'm gonna not highly recommend it. But I'm gonna give this a recommendation. Think about all the interesting subplots in here. So first of all, the husband dies mysteriously. Okay, and so the mom, a black beautiful mother, has
Widowed, single mom.
Right, she's got a hard time keeping her jobs and supporting this kid who gets in trouble at school. He has to go to different schools because he gets in fights and he might use his powers.
Okay.
It's a slow growth as he just starts to learn that he has powers when he's 7 years old.
Right.
And then he gets slightly more, he learns about his powers as he goes.
What was the circumstances of you watching this movie? I mean,
You
was
saw
it
the
a
trailer? Probably.
was it an evening?
It's not a movie. It's 17 episodes.
Oh my, what?
Yeah.
It's 2 seasons.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
9 episodes, 45 minutes each.
I'm out.
High rating, medium high rating on IMDb.
7.2. It's
7.2.
It's pretty high.
It's good quality sci-fi effects, beautifully filmed. Think Stranger Things with the kids having great chemistry, except now they're 7 years old.
Okay.
He's got this friend Esperanza, a girl in a wheelchair who steals the show. The show gets better after episode 3, and it keeps getting more complex and interesting.
And
as
they give you some good characters that you can sort of relate to and start to root for.
Right. No famous people except Michael B. Jordan plays the father, who just appears once in a while.
Okay.
As an
Interesting.
like in
He's
a
a big-
storm, his face might appear.
And the youngster, the Dion himself, is he an actor that you really like to watch? I mean, that
It took
actor,
a
I
while
would
because
imagine.
he was such a kind of a pricky kid in the beginning, because it's hard when your kid has superpowers to make him do stuff, and he'll just like do what he wants to.
Yeah, I would
I'm just
think
going to
so,
go
right.
outside. Boom,
Right.
and he goes.
You can
he walks-
teleport. You can.
Yeah.
Did you watch this this show like straight through? I mean, was there any other shows you were mixing in?
I watched this straight through, like 3 shows in a row, and then the next day I watched a couple more,
Okay.
and then maybe the end of the week I wrapped it up.
Okay.
So I think I even might have skipped a show or 2 in the middle,
I got a
and then I was
question.
all confused because some of the actors, there was some interesting twists, so I had to go back and watch the previous shows.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so superpowers, generally in our world today, that means you're going to be a superhero. We have shows like The Boys, which is, and like say Watchmen
Or
where-
Brightburn.
all these things where they're trying to
Great
make it
movie.
more relatable. Is at any point is he starting to use these powers for good or anything like that, or is it?
He first
how does
uses
how-
it to hurt a bully, and he
Okay.
goes, "Hey, I didn't even touch him."
Very common.
And he
very
gets smashed against the wall.
Spider-Man loves to just do that as well.
And so there's this. Remember, it's family friendly, and it might be a little bit tame in that regard. So
Okay.
for adults, you probably want something a little bit more.
But
the
eventually
special
there's
effects
not-
are really cool.
Eventually, there's not like a big villain in the city. The bad
Season
banker.
2. Season 2.
Okay, so we do get to a villain that he
so
needs to.
Season 2, they notch it up.
Is there going to be a season 3?
There's some talk of it.
Okay.
So that and this is made from a comic book series.
Oh, beautiful.
So I think it's good enough for a Tuesday, Wednesday. I enjoyed it. It's very light. Yes, you could do your laundry while you're watching this, but the scenes are pretty good and it's very good quality.
If you want something family friendly,
Yeah,
but yet
you
still,
could watch it with your teenagers.
but still interesting and some sci-fi.
But you think
fun.
Beth and I would watch this show?
God no.
No way. No way.
All right, well there you go.
I mean,
So there you go. Qualified. Look at these special effects, you guys.
It does look like good special effects.
Really
I've watched the trailer
Look
quite
at that.
a bit.
Look at that.
that doesn't mean anything to me. I mean,
Well, on my TV, the sound and the beauty of what was going on was really visually cool.
I love that.
But
kind
they
of stuff.
tamed it down, because it is a family-friendly thing.
Sure.
So sometimes you think, well, it could be a little bit more. It's not as gritty as Stranger Things.
I'll play one
Sure.
episode with Beth, and we'll see what.
I'd say you have to go to 3 seasons. I mean, three episodes.
3 episodes. Okay.
Not gonna happen. I can't
All
do
right.
that anymore.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a shot.
And if you don't like it, then don't watch the rest.
What's next on our list, Bill?
All right, that's it. So,
Nice job.
all right,
And what number are we up to?
this is our 8th one that we're reviewing. Righteous Gemstones.
Oh wow.
A lot of people have been watching this.
I've watched several. There's only one season, right?
No, 2 seasons.
Okay, I've watched several from the first season.
And that's on HBO.
There's 19 episodes, and you've got John Goodman, you've got Danny McBride, Adam Devine, couple actors who you don't know very much: Edie Patterson, Cassidy Freeman,
Okay.
Tony Cavallero. Some really, and then some.
And you're laughing talking about this, so that when
It's
you
funny.
think of the
Walter
show
Groggins
and you laugh.
Oh, as Baby Billy. Hey, it's Baby Billy. So they play. So the show, it's a comedy, it's a drama, it's mainly a comedy. Everybody is awful. That's the big takeaway is
Okay.
that Christian televangelists are just awful.
Right.
They're just awful. I mean, there's nothing redeeming here.
Just about the money.
They're all going to hell.
Occasionally they will give you a little thread of
Some redeeming values.
of John Goodman being decent, but it's really well done. It's HBO. It follows a world-famous televangelist family, the Gemstones, with a long tradition of deviance, greed, and charitable work. So the mother of John Goodman, who is kind of the leader of when they started this televangelism, is dead. She died of cancer, and before the show really starts. And John Goodman's got three kids. Danny McBride is the oldest. Then a daughter.
Adam Devine is hilarious.
Yeah,
I love him.
And then Adam Devine as
He's
the
in a
young
lot
one.
of B movies, but I love him.
Oh yeah, no, he's fun. I recently watched him in Mike and Dave need wedding dates.
That's a good
great.
one.
That's a great movie.
That's a good one.
Oh man,
With
I love-
Aubrey, whoever she is.
I mean,
yeah.
to me, this would have been better
Aubrey
as
Plaza.
Aubrey
as a
Plaza.
movie.
She is so good in that.
Yeah, but you know what? Enjoy it. I mean,
Okay.
this is no. I would disagree.
It is so hard to find. People ask, I want to see a comedy. What can I see?
Yes,
This is one of the.
and they're
we
30
haven't named
minutes.
any.
They're 30 minutes.
You
and
said Fresh was a horror comedy, but that's not what this.
Yeah.
This is real.
this
comedy.
is so light, and
Light
I mean,
comedy.
you're gonna be like, they're filthy rich. They must be nearly billionaires.
I've watched. It's funny. I have no idea why I stopped watching it. Just because there's too much to watch.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's 2 seasons, and yeah,
Well, maybe you saw the eyes of Tammy Faye, and you thought, I've had it with.
Well, it's very funny, but it seems like to me, I know it's going to be funny. They're just all funny people. They could practically be in any situation.
right. They're not. I mean, it's nothing redeeming about it or anything like that. You actually are like, boy, these people are just so awful. They just say nasty things about
Right.
each other, and they get into a lot of trouble, and they're not good Christians, and it's just fun to watch. So, I mean, it's a complete, guilty pleasure, I guess,
Yeah.
is what you would say. And I was watching it, at least season 2, when you would only get one a week. So it was
Okay.
nice that way, because it was like, okay, it actually came out on Sunday nights, which is
There you go.
improper, and you need to watch it during the week sometimes. So I would say if you want some good comedy that's R-rated and well done in an HBO style, they don't skimp on the budget.
And this is 2 seasons.
2 seasons, yep. You're going to see a lot of small wieners and stuff in the first couple episodes, so get ready for that.
No.
I'd recommend it. I mean, if you don't, to me, it's
I like comedy, so
you like comedies.
I'm up for it. Yeah.
I asked my stepson Tim, what one show that you're watching would you recommend? He said Righteous Gemstones.
Really? Okay.
There you go. Cool beans.
All right. And then next. So anyway, that's on
That's on
HBO.
HBO.
All right.
Max.
Full recommend from Don and from me.
Comedy drama. 2 seasons. All right. A wrap up by Dave on Inventing Anna.
No, we'll wrap up on all of us. If you've seen it, have you seen the whole thing?
I went through about half of it, and then I stopped and I actually watched the Tinder Swindler, and Tinder Swindler, and I thought I've had enough of swindlers, and actually I had. So, and I also watched a documentary on Inventing Anna.
Well, okay.
I mean, on the real person
Sure.
here.
I mean, you don't
And
love.
I felt I knew the story.
Julia Gardner. You have to either you don't love her as much as I do, so I want to watch anything that she's on.
Okay.
So,
I know it got long for me too. I was
got
like,
long. I will say
I
this.
was like,
These
I
episodes
lost a
seemed
little
like
bit of interest. Like about 6 episodes.
they
in.
seemed like 2-hour episodes.
Right.
Like, holy crap! They're the longest 1-hour episodes ever.
Right. They are hour.
But I
they're-
still
they're
watched
hour
them.
5, hour 10.
It took
so it's
me
a-
like 2 weeks to watch it.
And to me, it was more of the subplot of the journalist woman who's
Right.
trying to do it.
Right.
Actually, was more of an interesting story than
Well, I mean, that's why you're
Inventing
watching.
Anna.
Right.
You,
that's
you
why
kind of
should-
were right. That she was the redeeming part of it, or the good part.
Right. I mean, that's why you watched it. It's a great show.
It gets a little long.
It gets
I mean,
a little.
I would
long.
say it's no Queen's Gambit. I mean, it's
God, no.
it's not like the best thing on TV. But as far as Julia Garner goes, it was a really
And
good-
Rachel,
and
what's her name?
the actress
Yeah.
is Katie Lowes.
Yeah, she was great.
She plays the journalist that's
I mean, it's shocking.
got to do this.
The thing is,
article.
I watched the entire thing without any Googling about Anna Delvey.
Wow, that's impressive.
So I waited until the last and then I went to bed and I literally sat in bed and Googled for an hour.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I
That's
knew nothing.
I
had no idea where she was. I didn't cheat at all. So
okay. Well, that's good. That's good then.
So it was completely suspenseful for me when they were reading the verdict at the end of the show. I had no idea what was going to happen.
Yep. I totally didn't do that. But I still ended up. I actually was starting to fall. I was watching it with my partner.
Yeah.
And the
Male
last
partner?
Yeah, when you say partner, it sounds a little, but that's fine.
my wife.
Okay, there you go.
And so she was more interested in it than I was. So it was one of those I was definitely doing. That's why I was probably doing a lot of Googling about the story and whatnot, because I was just like, whatever. I hate this woman.
If Don is around me, I will not like. I want to put when you go down to my theater, I want to have like a bowl that you have to put your cell phone in before you get downstairs.
Well, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. I mean, this is 9.
I mean, see,
It's like 10 hours.
I was enjoying
10
the
hours.
reporter's story.
Right.
I don't want to know what really happened.
Yeah.
It was a
I guess.
story.
Okay, so that's just it.
The mystery of her unpeeling the onion and finding out the
got
secret.
bored like midway through it and completely spoiled it.
Okay.
So but
That's what I did.
what's her name? Props to Julia Garner. I went back and watched the whole thing.
I mean, people don't like her
Just-
accent, but
just
she
to
was
see
doing
it.
she was doing an exact copy of the real person.
Right,
Yeah.
it was spot on when you listen to the real person.
Right. So a lot of people I heard irritating accent don't want
Yeah,
to watch
right. It's
that.
like a German-Russian thing. She was
I liked it. I'm going to
a
say
Russian who was pretending to be German.
I recommend it. That's all I want to say.
Okay.
All right.
Inventing Anna, it took a long time.
Very popular on the Netflix.
All right.
What else
And
we
then we're number 10. Dave, talk about the Brotherhood of Wolf.
Of the Wolf.
Oh boy. Okay, this
Of
is
the Wolf?
This is
Okay.
going to be a short one.
Is it of Wolf? Or
It's
Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Of the Wolf.
of the Wolf.
This is a 20-year-old, 21-year-old movie.
Is it really?
Yeah. This is from 2001.
Wow, I had no idea. Okay.
Where do you see this on?
I think it was at Amazon Prime.
Does this look like the right one?
Let's see.
That guy in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
there you
okay.
go. All right. So it's an action, adventure, drama, horror, thriller.
Wow, that sounds good.
18th century France.
Universal Studios.
The Chevalier de France and his Native American friend.
The only problem,
Manny.
it's a 2 hour and 25 minute. Oh, that was Anna.
That was for the last one, so you got plenty of
So
time
it's
here.
a 2 hour and 25 minute movie, but it's 100% subtitled.
Oh, I'm out.
You're out. Okay. And it's really crazy.
What do they speak? They're speaking French.
I have no idea. I have no idea what they were speaking.
Speaking French, probably.
But it's cinematically beautiful. Okay. Absolutely beautiful to watch. Even if you turn the volume down, every shot is shot beautiful. And they are throwing like 18th century France mixed with Hong Kong kung fu.
Really?
And werewolves.
Wow.
So it's,
and werewolves.
It's like a total mishmash of genres.
It's not this is fiction, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 18th century horror.
Right.
Okay. It got a little bit of
looks a little sexy there on the trailer.
Vampire.
It is. It's full of sex. It's full of violence.
What's that vampire movie with Tom Cruise? You know, I'm getting a feel of that sort of the werewolves.
Conversations with a vampire or something.
Yeah,
like that?
Interview with a vampire.
No, this
Anne
is
Rice stuff.
This is its own thing. If you're into vampires or werewolves, those are the only people that I can recommend.
Interesting.
But you see that like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yeah, the cinematography looks really great.
Oh.
I'm going to check this out.
But it
on
is subtitled,
Prime.
and I can't get a dubbed version.
You cannot.
Damn it.
It took me a long time to watch the thing.
Wow.
I
because
watch everything with subtitles.
I do, but you can't look down. That's like, I mean, you really can't be looking at your phone when you're watching a subtitled movie because then it's just Francie talk.
Oh, I see, because you like to watch movies and be on your phone. That's why David was saying he's going to get a bowl to put your phone in.
I literally had no idea that it was a old movie. So that's pretty impressive.
It is. It's got a pretty good rating, a 7.0 on
That's
the
very good.
IMDb.
That's very good. 57 on Metascore.
You know, I watched it. It took a couple days to watch it because I would fall asleep. And with
Watching
subtitles,
it
you
late.
have to... Right, yeah. But if you're into vampires, werewolves, kung fu, it's got it all.
There's really kung
That
fu
sounds
in there.
good. That
a
sounds
lot
good.
of kung fu.
So they're like beating up the werewolves or whatnot? Fighting the werewolves?
I'm not going to give anything away.
So
the
don't
story-
watch it on your phone. This is something you got to watch on a good screen.
Right.
They're investigating the killing of hundreds by a mysterious beast.
I would say if you can make it through like a half hour, you'll probably get hooked. So check it out.
All right. Well, there you go.
That's a show.
That's a
Awesome.
show.
We're going to immediately do another show right after this.
We cannot get under an hour. We are an hour and 17.
Damn it.
So, should I just give you a quick wrap here of what we saw?
Yeah.
Okay. You listen to the whole thing.
There you go.
Yeah, tell us what we heard, Bill. What do we do?
The Batman, of course, fresh on Hulu.
Keep going.
Protege, Vikings, Valhalla, West Side Story, Contagion, Raising Dion, Righteous Gemstones, Inventing Anna, and the Brotherhood of the Wolf.
But if you made it to this far, you know that already.
Right.
So,
And also, I like to put at the end, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
there you go. Subscribe.
And like us.
Yeah.
Do you like us? I don't know. I don't like Dave.
You don't have to like us.
I
Just
like Bill.
subscribe.
It's all about
You still
the
got a
old guy.
minute left on your Brotherhood of the.
No.
You're only like at a 2-minute review.
I just
of
wanted
that
to
thing.
mention it.
Okay.
It's a long subtitled movie.
Nice.
But,
Well.
you know, somebody like Ed may really like that movie.
Oh, really? Is it R-rated? Is there?
Oh, yeah. There's-
Werewolf
you're
boobs?
gonna, yeah, you're going to get everything. Everything you want.
Nice.
You're gonna get it.
It looks good.
It's just such a mishmash that it was odd.
right.
I may try it. And Raising Dion as well.
Okay.
All right. Until next time, goodbye.
10-4, over and out.
Later.